So hello everyone, welcome to your own channel. Today's video I have made for the internship guidelines and how to create the internship report. Let us start with the guidelines document that has been shared in the description and by IGNOU. So the first thing starts with the introduction. What is the internship about and why it's important? And let's skip all this. Coming to the criteria for selection of the agency, that means from where you are going to do the internship. These are the guidelines and these are the criteria or the organizations accepted by the IGNOU for the internship. Government hospitals, government psychiatric or mental health institutions, reputed private hospitals, etc. So all the list is given for clinical. Then counseling, another set is given. Then for organizational, another set is given. Now coming to the next section, guidelines for learners. You will see all these things are written. Okay, let's jump to this. The first thing that you need to attach here is the declaration. This has to be attached with the final internship report. Then the reference letter, if the agency or organization requires it, that you have submitted during the approval. Now there is a consent letter that needs to be attached to the internship report. First is your consent letter that you had already submitted during the approval, and the next is the declaration that too you had already submitted during the approval. So only the third thing remains is the certificate that needs to be attached. So the three documents are very important, that is your consent letter, declaration and certificate. Now out of the three, the first two, I'll repeat, you have already submitted this during the approval, so you already have them, you just need to attach to the report. Now moving to the next one, that is the certificate that I have already mentioned. Then further, the learner has to maintain a record of visits. Now that document has been attached in the appendix 4 that we will discuss later on. Okay, evaluation of marks is given if you want to check those, how many marks are given for each section. Conduction of the term end examination, that is your viva. Please look at the last date of submission of the internship report for the July admission. Okay, the July cycle, 31st May is the last date of any year for the January cycle. So November 30th is the last date of submission. Now again, starting with the points to remember how to write the internship report. Internship report could be a combination of a printout and handwritten. So few things would be printout, few things can be handwritten also, like your notes about the patient or some dialogues with the patient. So that could be handwritten. It would be written in English, so the language and the medium of communication would be English. So these are the final report details: the title page, the certificate and the record of visits or activities carried out. Okay, it should not be copied from learner. I will discuss this in detail. Okay, now the learners, very important, the learners should keep the copy of the internship report, because once submitted it will not be returned to the learner. If you want this record after MAPC, you want for reference for your learning purpose, you need to maintain a copy of it. Now you can go through all this internship and clinical psychology. These all activities and details are all given over here, how to intake the information, what all questions to ask. Everything has been written from page 10. Okay, for all three sections, that is 015 MPCE, clinical psychology, the counseling psychology and the organizational and behavioral, that also is given. All format is given over here. Okay, you just have to follow it. Now just coming to this section, that is the page 25. This is given the example of interview session also. You have to write the name of the client, interview number or the session number. the purpose of the interview, and how you are going to interview, what all details you will notice, that also you have to write. Then interaction, that what the client says, you ask the verbatim, that they call as the dialogues, will be written over here. Then the observation, then plan of action. Okay, these are the important points. I'm just mentioning the points. Now how to organize, we'll come back to that. Preparation of internship report, it is clearly mentioned that case history, MSc, this is the exam that we conduct. If you have conducted that exam on the client, or any psychological tests that you have administered, and verbatim record, that is the conversations going on between you and the client. All these things should be mentioned. Along with that, these documents that we have already seen, consent letter, the declaration, and the certificate should be attached. So let's come to the page number 51, Appendix 9, that is your format of internship report. So the first page is your title page. Okay. Now before your title page could be your declaration and the consent letter, you can attach before title page. All your details, your enrollment number, organization, the study center, etc. After that, the certificate comes here. Now there is an acknowledgement form as well, that also you have to attach. So acknowledgement has been given in Appendix 8. So I have given the acknowledgement document over here after the certificate. Now in the profile of the organization, after acknowledgement, you have to write the details about organization, who are the founders, when and where it was started, and you can write the details about the members, the trustees, or the management. You have any photographs of the institute, then also if they permit you, you can add it over here, and you can add the management photographs as well if they permit you. So the record of the visits and activities carried out by the learner. Now this document is also one important document that you have to mention, you have to attach. So this is the form for record of visits or activities. It includes the visits to the organization or the institute where the internship is conducted. So you can write down when did you visit, what date, and whom did you meet, what is the nature of work, and you can take the signature of the concerned authority or your the internship guide. And multiple copies can be attached. You can take a printout, multiple copies, and you can attach them. So it should be duly signed and attached in the internship report. So academic counselor and our signature is required. So after the record of visits, that is the fifth document to be attached, we move on to the table of contents. Now actual contents will start. So reporting of the cases. Now that includes your each case. Okay, so case 1, case 2, case 3, that way you have to write down 10 cases. Now each case should include the following, that is 1 to 8. These all points are required for each case. So case 1, 8 points, case 2, all these points. So these points are for clinical and counseling. For industrial and organizational, the points are very different. Okay, so you can see each activity should include, and these are the points written over there. Now the report, that is the final document they are calling for, the consent letter, the declaration, and the certificate, the record of visits. So all these letters are required, and the acknowledgement also along with this. So this is your entire report, and we will talk about the details, how to report all the cases, case 1, case 2, like that, so on. So coming back to the details of each case that we have to write, the learner will take up to 10 cases. So there will be case 1 to case 10. Now what we have to mention in the report is all the intake information, that is the details of the client and what questions you have asked. All these questions are already mentioned. You just have to read them, conduct them during the sessions, and write here. If you have conducted a mental status examination, that is the MSC, then you have to mention that in the report itself. The purpose of the examination, the precautions you have taken, the description. Now the steps they have just mentioned what you need to follow during the MSC. Establishing a rapport is also very important during the MSC. After reading all the details above, that is for MPC 015 clinical psychology. So preparation of the internship report, they have written what all you need to mention. It should be in English. Case history, psychological tests, that is the MSC if you have performed. Verbatim record, that is what you have communicated to the client and how the client has answered back during the session, what all observations you have made, that whether they are making an eye contact or any body language changes that you observe. Every minute detail comes in the verbatim record. Okay, and if you have planned any intervention, like a second session or third session, so that you need to mention. Case wise, so each case will have all these details, and then the next case starts. So case 1, all these details, then again case 2, all these details, etc. So these records have to be mentioned. So there were questions like whether to record the verbatim or not. So yes, that is a verbatim record is very important when you are mentioning in the report. Just want to mention this, that here when they are writing each case should include, they have not mentioned the verbatim record exactly. They have mentioned details about the interview of significant others. So don't misinterpret that the verbatim is not required. It's clearly mentioned above on page 20 for the clinical that it is required to be attached. Okay, so if you move on to the counseling psychology, also it's written the same thing at the end of all the details that it is required. See, this is for the counseling one. They have mentioned case history, MSC if you conduct, any psychological tests if you conduct, and the verbatim record of the sessions, and the intervention plan, that if you are calling their parents or anybody to intervene, or any senior doctor or somebody to intervene, or any other session planned for the person, that intervention you need to write. This is the content of the report. You can see print or handwritten. Okay, some documents can be printed and some can be handwritten. You can directly download from the link given in the description. All these documents have been shared with you. So thank you all the subscribers, and keep in touch through this channel. If you have any questions, please write me down in the comment section. I'll definitely try to answer all of them. After the record of visits, you will find two forms. That is, one is the evaluation scheme from the agency supervisor, and one is from the academic counselor. Both are important and both are to be attached in your report. First page you will have this filled from the agency supervisor and signed. Okay, so when you are submitting the internship report, you have to submit these marks along with your report from the agency supervisor, and then after evaluation, the academic counselor will send you the marks. So both these sheets are given in the description on the same drive. You can download them, and remember them to attach them to the internship report. Also check all the documents. When you are submitting online, you may have to scan the document, hence please do not forget to paste your signature image on all the documents wherever your signature is required. Thank you for being with me, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.